going on?
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that rig.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. I'm Mike Babcock with my guy, as always, Mojo Muhtadi. Mojo, the NFL season kicked off Thursday night. Classic matchup. Dallas Cowboys traveling to the East Coast to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And Mojo, it was a crazy game. And I think the thing that most people are talking about is Spitgate. Mojo, yeah, Spitgate involving Jalen Carter, of course, the former first-round draft pick. I can remember, Mojo, a season starting off like this. So we've got the kickoff, Mojo, and then before the first play from scrimmage, there's an altercation, and something happens that actually gets Jalen Carter, the star defensive tackle, ejected from the ballgame. Watch this.
So I mentioned the flag as the athletic training staff is looking at Van Sumer and Sean Smith, the referee, trying to get between the teams, and one of the other officials threw a penalty flag, 35-yard line.
Conduct. Defense number 98. Number 98's defense actions has disqualified him from the game.
Whoa.
15-yard penalty.
Whoa.
Automatic. First down.
So Jalen Carter, the focus and the star for the Cowboys, for the Eagles on the front line, out for the game before a snap. Here he goes. He walks there in front of Dak Prescott. Did he spit? Did he spit on him? I think he did. There you go. There you go. And the official was right there to throw the flag. Brian Neal, the umpire, who was keeping an eye on that confrontation. No idea, obviously, what was said. But Jalen Carter out of this game before a snap.
Now look, Mojo, that was a big moment in the game. Now look, ultimately the Eagles end up going on to win the game 24-20. It was a close game, though, but make no mistake, he is a really critical piece of that vaunted defense. It's a scary defense. They are really good, Mojo. And I think the Eagles are fortunate that they had put up enough points in the first half to ultimately win this game. It was just a weird all-around game. I mean, outside of the spitting, Mojo, there was a whole bunch of offense in the first half and not a whole bunch of punting. There were 7 offensive possessions, Mojo, both teams, of course, and there were 7 scores, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. But there was a lot of offense. And then, Mojo, there was an hour delay because there was bad weather in the Philadelphia area. And look, they'll play through the rain, they'll play in the sun, the wind, all that stuff, the rain, the snow, the wind, Mojo, that doesn't matter. But lightning, obviously, is something that can be dangerous to the players, to the people in the stands. Look at it right there. So there was this hour delay. Ultimately, the game restarts once again at about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then there was not a lot of offense at all, Mojo. There was only 3 points scored. But this all circles back here, Mojo, to Spitgate, because as the game was then being played and everyone on social media and even the announcers are talking about what happened with Jalen Carter, new video comes to light that seemingly shows Dak Prescott spitting first. So watch this, Mojo. You'll see it. He seems to spit first. I think the question is, where does said spit go? And was it directed at Jalen Carter or was it directed at the ground? After the game, Mojo, Dak Prescott was asked about that. What happened? Here's the Cowboys quarterback, as well as Jalen Carter.
I was right here by the 2 linemen, and guess I needed to spit, and I wasn't going to spit on my lineman, and I just spit ahead. But I would say he was back there where Jory was in that sense, and he asked, or he goes, "You trying to spit on me?" And at that point, I mean, I felt like he was insulting me. Like I wouldn't spit on somebody. I'm damn sure not trying to spit on you. Like we're about to play a game. I'm wondering why you're trying to mess with the rookie. And so when I stepped through, I actually say the words like, "What the hell would I? Excuse me, but I'm probably even more colorful. What would I need to spit on you for?" And he just spit on me in that moment, and it was more of a surprise than anything. Refs obviously saw it through the flag. I was like, hell yeah, we get 15 yards to start the game off. Didn't realize he was getting ejected. Unfortunate that he did. Hell of a player.
You know, it was a mistake that happened on my side. You know, it just won't happen again. You know, I feel bad for just my teammates and the fans out there. You know, I'm doing it for them. You know, I'm doing it for my family also. But the fans, you know, they show the most love. You heard them out there today. You know, just not being able to finish and start the game, even finish the game, is just but we're gonna get it better. It won't happen again. I'll create that promise.
So, Mojo, I think obviously Jalen Carter should not have spit, period. But seeing what you have now seen, does that vindicate him some? Are you buying Dak's explanation? Break down Spitgate for us.
Didn't think we were going to be starting off I didn't think we'd be kicking off the NFL season like this, Babcock. I mean, what controversy in a tale of two cities here, Babcock. Yes, two different sides of the fence. You know what? I'm not buying what Dak has to say for nothing. That is a load of crap. You felt like you had to spit, so you spit through two of your teammates in the direction of an opposing player. I'm not buying that crap for a second. He's lucky that spit didn't touch Jalen Carter. Assuming it didn't. Some of it might have. I don't know. But obviously, he's not just going to look a guy in his eyes and spit through two of his players for no reason because he had to spit. That's a cop-out. That is a load of crap. Whereas you look at Jalen Carter, who totally owned up to it. I made a mistake in the moment. He got the better of me emotionally. For nasty players, that's how they do it, right? They rile you up and they try to instigate you to make a mistake, and that's exactly what happened here. Jalen Carter, he's a player that has made some mistakes in his day. Dak Prescott probably thought he could take advantage of that, you know, making mistakes and get him to make another one. He was right, didn't own up to nothing, acted in the end as if nothing had happened. Honestly, I think there should be a fine here. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as saying a suspension, but for a quarterback making a lot of money, and that's how you kick off the NFL season, when all eyes are watching, that's the first thing that the fans see. If I'm the commissioner, I am definitely going to tax that man in a big way for that. But, you know, Jalen Carter, you got to do better, man. You're a beast. As a former defensive tackle, honestly, you're one of my favorite players, man. The way I've seen that man perform, the effort that he gives. I mean, I remember last season, the quarterback tried to spike the ball, and he dove for it and almost intercepted it. That right there is enough to win a player over professionally, for me, for life as an effort guy. So, hate to see it happen. Marred by controversy to start the season. But, yeah, man, I am anti-Team Dak on this one.
Clippers owner Steve Ballmer finally responding to allegations that he went around the NBA salary cap to give Kawhi Leonard a $28 million deal. We'll hear from the billionaire owner next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, Steve Ballmer, the billionaire owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, is finally responding to allegations that he did something pretty nefarious as a way to kind of cheat with his Clippers basketball team, Mojo. So people have probably seen this by now. Pablo Torre, the reporter, had a story a little bit earlier in the week, and I won't get too much into the weeds here, Mojo, but to make a long story short, Torre claimed that Ballmer and the Clippers, as a way to circumvent the NBA salary cap, you know, they've got an amount of money and you can't spend more than that amount of money, but as a way to circumvent that, a way around that, Mojo, that Steve Ballmer essentially got Kawhi Leonard a $28.5 million endorsement deal with a company called Aspiration. But Mojo, he didn't have to do anything for that $28 million. It's said to have been essentially a no-show job. Here's $28 million. You'll play for the Clippers. You don't have to do anything with Aspiration. So that's the allegation. Super illegal, not legally the law, super illegal by NBA standards, Mojo. So Steve Ballmer headed over to ESPN and, well, he says it just ain't true.
I don't know why they did what they did, and I don't know how different it is. I really don't. And frankly, any speculation would be crazy. These are guys who committed fraud. How would I be able? Look, they conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment in these guys thinking it was on the up and up, and they conned me. At this stage, I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything they did, let alone the specific contract with Kawhi. My staff reviewed primarily fraudulent financials. Now, should I have sniffed it out? Maybe. I feel embarrassed and kind of silly that I didn't sniff it out, but I didn't. I made the investment. A lot of other smart investors didn't sniff it out either. It's also true I've made a bunch of bad business deals and investments in my life, and I've made some good ones. This was fraud and a bad investment, and I'm embarrassed by that.
So there it is, Mojo. Steve Ballmer is saying, I'm the victim here. I didn't do anything wrong. As a matter of fact, he says that he put a lot of money into this aspiration company and they screwed him over. And to his point, by the way, some of the people involved with that company are in the middle of a criminal investigation with the U.S. government, and it looks like there could be some prison time served here. So, again, that's getting into the weeds, but the bottom line is Steve Ballmer says, I did not give Kawhi Leonard any money to go around the NBA salary cap.
That one is a doozy, Babcock, with some very big names. I mean, Steve Ballmer being implicated in this one, that's just nuts. I mean, look, what he's saying is actually very believable. I mean, that could have happened. You want to think because Steve Ballmer is so wealthy that he doesn't make mistakes of this magnitude, and his team could sniff out some bad actors and some bad investments. But sometimes when you're that rich, you spread the wealth, man. You invest in everything under the sun. You have a fund for this. You go out and you just, throw out some Hail Marys, hope one of them results in some huge money. That's where you make your biggest gains anyways. Not all of them are blue chip investments. So that part is certainly understandable. There are a lot of crooks out there, a lot of scumbags, dirty people. So, I mean, that could happen. $50 million sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Maybe not so much to Steve, who's a billionaire. That's probably like barely registers on his radar. But
Mojo, he's worth $153 billion according to Forbes. One of the 10 richest men in the world. So yeah, he wouldn't even know if that was gone.
That's like us going to the shopping mall and using a quarter to get a gumball, Babcock.
It's so true.
$50 million. Good problem to have. But as you relate to Kawhi, $28 million is a monster partnership deal, right? As someone who does these things for a living in another life, that is a huge one. I don't care if you're talking about an A-list celebrity or not. $28 million, you're putting together an investment like that, that is going to come with some serious deliverables, in-persons, photo shoots, video shoots, social media posts, testimonials, all of the things baked into that.
It's very possible, or it is possible, I don't know if it's very likely or not, possible that Kawhi Leonard had something going on with aspiration, and Steve Ballmer has no idea or wasn't involved with it at all. Now, I think the NBA certainly is going to investigate here. Pablo Torre, for his part, he has stood by his story. You've had a lot of people come to the defense of Steve Ballmer, including former NBA owner Mark Cuban. So he's got Ballmer's back. A lot of other people have had Ballmer's back. And we're going to find out here what happens, because if the NBA feels like the Clippers cheated in this way, I think there's going to be hell to pay for them. There will be a massive, massive penalty. It's Clippergate. Stay tuned. Coming up next on TMZ Sports, we'll tell you all you need to know about the Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather fight going down spring 2026. We broke this story last night. Crazy, crazy fight. Stay tuned. Welcome back to TMZ Sports, Mike and Mojo. Mojo, this is not something I thought I would ever be saying, especially not at this point. But here we are. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather are fighting each other. Yep, TMZ Sports broke the story Thursday afternoon. that 48-year-old Floyd Mayweather, 59-year-old Mike Tyson getting into the boxing ring sometime in spring 2026, Mojo. There are some things we don't know yet, an exact date, a location, and even where the fight will air. But we do know, and we've been told, Mike has signed the contract, so has Floyd. Of course, Mike, looking ferocious there. Mike last fought against Jake Paul in November, Mojo. Most watched fight ever, 108 million or so people watching that fight. We know Floyd has taken some fights, some exhibition fights over the last few years. This will be an exhibition. These guys don't like each other, Floyd and Mike. They don't have, they're not friends. They've got bad blood. And again, Mojo, sometime spring 2026, they're about to put hands on each other.
Babcock, this will easily become the most watched fight of all time, right? I don't think there's any question of that.
Yeah, especially if it's free, Mojo. If it's free, it's like on Netflix, something like that, I think.
Then it's not even a fair fight, right? Yeah. Like, it's obviously going to happen and win by a huge margin. That being said, I'm going to be honest with you, Babcock. I don't care about this fight at all. Straight up, it doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe we've just had too many of these celebrity fights in too short of a time period where we know at this point it's all about hype. It's all about views and ticket sales and all these things with no substance to follow. I don't know. If we would have just seen a little bit of that old Tyson in the last fight, I think that would have made this very interesting, but Floyd is undefeated. He takes fights. He knows he's going to win. A lot of times I almost feel as if there's a gentleman's agreement of some kind. We're not going to try and kill each other. We're just going to try and get ourselves through this thing. And I see this fight, and I see two people that are doing an unbelievable job making themselves money and doing wonders for their brand. I just think this is going to be an absolute total snooze fest. Straight up. I hate to be that guy.
No,
but
Mojo,
I know a lot of y'all are thinking this too.
I don't think you're alone, Mojo. And I'm reading some of the comments that people have been saying since we broke the news. And a lot of people are saying, I don't love the idea of this. Of course, you go back 20 years and people would have killed to watch this fight. But Father Time, even for Mike Tyson, even for Floyd Mayweather, Father Time is undefeated. Nonetheless, and they're both a little bit older, so there's going to be an old guy versus an older guy. Mike Tyson is a lot bigger. I do think this, Mojo, and I will say that I think and you talk about that gentleman's agreement, I think with Jake and Mike, I think they didn't want to hurt each other. I think they like each other, they're friends, and they were like, hey, let's make a lot of money together. I don't know that that's going to be the case for Floyd and Mike. They don't like each other. They've had beef over the years. Mike has not talked always very fondly about Floyd. So we'll see from that standpoint if they really try and go in there and hurt each other. I agree with you. I think like it, hate it. There's going to be a ton of people who watch it. Stay tuned. Oh, by the way, paychecks are going to be absurd. Huge, huge checks. And I think that's why, at the end of the day, this is happening. Let's be honest. Coming up next on TMZ Sports, could Sydney Sweeney win an Oscar for Best Actress? Well, that's what people are saying. We'll explain next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Mike and Mojo. Mojo, Sydney Sweeney. It's hard to find a hotter actress right now. She is everywhere. A lot of controversy surrounding Sydney Sweeney, of course, if you've seen the American Eagle commercial. Mojo, but she's also got a movie that a ton of people are super excited about. It's called Christy. The movie Christy actually premiered today at the Toronto Film Festival, Mojo. And I think by all accounts, this is a fantastic movie, Mojo. And if you're saying, hey, who is that boxer there? That, Mojo, is Sydney Sweeney playing Christy Martin. Christy Martin, of course, if you're a boxing fan, you'll be very familiar with one of the real trailblazers in women's boxing. And she had accomplished so much, and she really lived a really incredibly interesting life. And Sydney Sweeney is playing her in this movie, again, chronicling this super interesting life, Mojo. Now, there is a lot of talk that this movie could actually ultimately get some Oscar love, and that Sydney, in fact, could possibly win the most coveted award in all of acting herself, Mojo. In fact, the production company, Black Bear, we're told, has been testing the movie with audiences, and the people have loved it, Mojo. So again, a lot of excitement around this movie. It's not going to hit the theaters until November. So we've got a little bit of time, we got 2 months or so. But again, bottom line is it seems that people are really excited about this film. And it's, I think, the first role that Sydney has had like this, let's be honest.
Yeah, man. Hey, I look at this as a testament to her, right? Critics are going to have their opinions of Sydney Sweeney, right? Now she got her opportunities and stuff. But hey, when you have those opportunities and you make the most of them and you bust your ass, that's where you get to situations like this. So, I mean, hats off to her if everyone's buzzing and raving about this. That's a cool thing. Anytime you can have someone, an actor that's been pigeonholed most of their career, right? And you're able to finally have that opportunity to kind of spread your wings and try something new, do something different. Hey, it's on you to make the most of it, and that seems to be the early word. I mean, look at The Rock and the Smashing Machine, right? I mean, even though he's playing an MMA fighter, he's been a pro wrestler, those two kind of go hand in hand. I mean, he was able to literally transform his body in order to do that role, change his voice, everything, and people are absolutely loving it right now. So, hey, there's two people breaking the mold. You love to see it, and I, for one, I'm excited to check this one out, to see more clips about it and see if it's worth the hype.
Yeah, me too, Mojo. And to your point about transforming her body, she actually put on 40 pounds, a lot of that muscle. So you can only imagine, especially for a bit of a smaller person, just how much work must have went into that. And again, by all accounts, she really knocked this thing out of the park. So credit to Sydney Sweeney. I think it's going to be a big movie. All right, Mojo, we have got to go. We got to wait a couple of months. We'll watch the movie. This weekend, what we're going to watch is a whole lot of football. We've got a full slate of games, of course. Mojo, college football Saturday, Sunday. Cannot wait. NFL. We'll have a bunch to talk about on Monday, Mojo. It's going to be a great weekend. We're going to have a great show on Monday.
We'll see you Monday where we find out if there's a Spitgate 2, and that'll make it the best show since today.
I'm a lawyer.